Hi, I'm Hank Roberts and this is Richard Sowers. We're the inventors of the edee, which is an electrical energy producing device. Here we have the meter that comes and registers the amount of power that comes off of the grid and off of the public services. We just took it off of the pole because we have no electricity coming to this house. And you see Richard flipping on the lights and all here. We have no power into the unit. But we're going to turn on the edee unit that we've invented and show you that we can create electricity to run this entire mobile unit. Let us go back in the back and turn this on for you just a second. We can leave the meter here in the kitchen while we go into the back. Totally dark, of course, so I brought the handy flashlight. See Richard over here.
This cable here is wired directly to the panel box. It's just a jumper cable. If this were going to be a permanent unit to this house, it would be a hardwired system. We're going to plug her in. The system is now energized.
Now, I believe we will find that we have completely energized the whole house. Richard just turned on the light switch, which gave us power here to the house. I don't need the flashlight anymore because the entire house is energized. Not from, Lisa, would you mind handing me that device behind you? The device that I'm talking about is the meter that should be on the power pole outside. We don't need the meter anymore because we're not using power from the outside. We're using edee. We've invented a unit. We're going to have power over here. We're going to have Richard go over here if you don't mind and turn on maybe a little light here. How about ceiling fan? Mind doing that for us? Lights. Ceiling fan, please, sir? He didn't hear us. He's hard of hearing, but he's a good inventor. You know, while he's plugging these things in, we're going to run 2 televisions, we're going to run 2 computers, we're going to run a ceiling fan, lights, refrigerator, freezer, overhead lights and all here. The whole works. We're running a 1,200 square foot trailer, mobile home, off of the edee unit. We're using no power whatsoever from outside. Number one, the edee unit runs off of its own power system. We burn no petroleum. We burn no coal. We burn no nuclear energy. Nothing is going into power in this. It powers itself. We'll get you more information about that, but right now we want you to know that there is no pollutants going into the atmosphere because we're using no fuel. It works. I know you say it can't work because you're defying all electrical principles. Yes, we are defying all electrical principles and we're going against all that you know about electricity, but we're thinking outside the box and it works. And if you don't believe it, we'll be glad to demonstrate it to you too, because now we have our patent pending and we're more than happy to let you know that it will work. Number 2, other than the fact that it does not burn any fuel, is the fact that it does not produce any byproducts. There's no atmosphere being messed up with anything that from the exhaust, from any of the byproducts from burning petroleum, from burning coal, from nuclear energies or anything like that. So we have nothing going into the atmosphere from this unit, the edee unit at all. So we're not bothering with that. The entire thing is totally run by itself with no output, no waste products. Number 3 is it's extremely inexpensive to build and inexpensive to make. So that's going to be really, really great. We're going to be able to save the individual user about 90% of their power, 90% of their energy. So calculate for yourself, how much do you spend on your energy bill? Take off 90% of that and there you are. It'd be able to run locomotives. It'd be able to run trucks, diesel trucks and things like this. There is no end to the amount of use that you'll have. Why do you think that your food bills are higher now? Because it costs a lot of money to transport it across the nation and get it to you. What about the big ships going across the oceans? They'll be powered by an edee unit which uses no fuel, and it creates its own electricity. It's all in the making. What about all the politicians who talk about alternative energy? What about all the power companies and fuel companies that say, how much money have you spent this year on research of alternative energy? 100 million? 200 million? Nah, they're not spending anything. They're thinking about building bigger refineries, and they're thinking about drilling more oil, and they're thinking about where they're going to get some more, and they're thinking about $100 million automobiles that the sheiks over in some of the countries have that are selling us the oil. They're not thinking about alternative energy. Alternative doesn't mean how much more petroleum can we produce. It means alternative. What else are we going to do? We have an alternative way of producing energy, and that is the edee unit. The edee unit that we're ready to present to you, and that we are getting the patent for, so we can immediately put it to your use and give it to you for your personal use. It can be used in a home. It can be used on a boat. It can be used in trains, in trucks. It can be adapted to automobiles. Automobiles can drive from coast to coast around wherever you please to go. And the battery units that are the basics of the edee unit can be recharged by the fact that the cars are driving, by the fact that the trucks are driving, by the fact that the trains are driving. We're thinking outside of the box, and we're putting this together. And so it's all here. You see we're still running. You see television is going behind us. You see the smiling face of Richard Sowers. And the reason you see the smiling face of Richard is because we know it works. I guess we're one of the only people that knows it works, except for the few people that we brought out here to show it works. And we're so happy about that, because the ones we bring out are the news people and the people who can show it to other people and say, this doesn't work. It can't work. It's against all electrical principles.
It works.
Please come out and look at it for us, because
It works.
we're smiling. We know it works. And when they come out, they say, wow, hey, it works. So we know it does, and we're going to get it to you just as soon as we possibly can. This entire home is being powered right now. The computers, the television set, the lights, the refrigerators, everything is being done. We want y'all to know that these units can save money, they can save you energy, save everybody energy. We can save the world through its not having to worry about the pollution of the environment through the use of all of these fuels that we're using now. And the best part for you personally is the fact that we know we can save you 90% at least. And the reason I'm leaving the 10% in is the fact that you, of course, are going to have some type of repair work or some type of expense upkeep on this unit. There's got to be a little bit. But you do not, all of the parts of the edee unit can be purchased locally. They can be repaired locally. And you do not have to throw the pieces away and think about polluting our environment that way. What you do is have them rebuilt, have the internal parts. We're not going to tell you all the internal parts and how they're put together right now until we have the full patent and all. But it will work, and we're more than happy to be able to show you that as soon as we get the patent. And anybody who's interested in seeing it operate and seeing the fact that it does work and it does light up the lights I was pushing the fan the wrong way. That's how much I know about electricity. I'm pushing the fan the wrong way. But I do know what's making it run, and it's not the city, and it's not the power lines. It's edee. Edee's working. EDEE. It stands for Electrical Device for Economic Energy, and it's going to be in your house real soon.
Now I'm fixing to turn the key off, and you'll see nothing in the house is powered up from outside source. Edee is powering this house 100%.
Let's go with Richard and see this happen as it's happening. Turn it up.
We'll see you next time. Oh.